signature piece of legislation, the big, beautiful bill has just passed the United States House of Representatives. The final vote, 218 to 214. All the yes votes came from Republicans. All the no votes were from Democrats, plus 2 Republicans also voted no. Representatives Thomas Massie from Kentucky and Brian Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania. After months of negotiations and wrangling and back and forth between the House and the Senate, this vote was the final legislative step. It does not need any more votes. Now, the only thing left is for President Trump to sign this bill into law, which he says will happen tomorrow on the 4th of July. Look, I know there are a lot of you who have a lot of questions about what this bill is all about and what it does. Now, I have lots of videos about lots of different things that will impact you because of this bill. Keep in mind, the Senate version is the version that is going to become the law, not the House version. So what the House passed in early June is irrelevant. We are only talking about the Senate version, which has the extension of the 2017 Trump tax cuts, almost $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid and to the Affordable Care Act, which is way more than the House version. It has almost $300 billion in cuts to SNAP benefits, hundreds of billions of dollars in new money for the military, for Trump's Golden Dome, for immigration enforcement, and for the Department of Justice to prosecute and deport migrants. It also has a $5 trillion increase to the debt ceiling. Now, I have a video about the tax provisions and how they will impact you, especially as it relates to President Trump's promise of no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, and also what it means if you have Social Security and you're over the age of 65. Keep in mind, those things are only going to be temporary. They will only last until 2028. I also did a video about how and when the Medicaid and Affordable Care Act cuts are going to start kicking in for you. So definitely check those videos out. Now, you should also know that this is not the last reconciliation bill we are probably going to see. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune have both said that they are going to start working on the next reconciliation bill to continue to push Trump's agenda forward. Once again, with zero input from Democrats.
Laura, you were the first person to tell me that it passed, so I know you've been following this. What do you think about it passing?
I don't know. Like, me were talking about this today, and the fact that it passed by 2 votes to me is a red flag. It's a lot in it. The only thing I like about it personally is the amount of money we're putting towards immigration enforcement. So thank you. This is what I voted for. Bye. They gotta go. Bye. It's that simple. That's my only thing I like.
Enzo, do you feel like it's a win that it passed?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a win. I'm happy for it. And like I said last night, I would prefer single issue bills altogether. But then again, with looking at what's in the bill, I'm happy with the border. Obviously, that was my biggest thing. Happy with more money being spent to the Department of Defense too. I mean, they have enough money, but hey, cool, more money, more technology. And then I was really looking into what's being cut from Medicare and everything like that. Weren't the Democrats screaming that immigrants don't get federal benefits? Because once you really start looking into it, it says right here, the losers are low-income Americans, Medicaid recipients, immigrants, elite universities, and those relying on student loan forgiveness. I've seen immigrants, right? So I started to dig a little bit more. Right here, how immigrants would lose from this bill. Dramatic expansion to enforcement and deportations. We all know that. High barriers and costs for humanitarian protections. We knew that already. Tax on readmittance. We knew that already. And then right here, loss of access to federal benefits. The bill restricts access to healthcare, nutrition, SNAP, and the tax credits for non-citizens. So what happened to all of that? And then I did a little bit more, and I wanted to see how much Medicaid was funded by the states compared to the federal government. 40% of it's funded by the states, where only 60% comes from the government. So for us to sit here and say that immigrants are not getting Medicaid, they're not getting food stamps, they're not getting all of these programs, is absolutely fucking
immigrants
wild.
been getting it. What their thing is, they're saying
I know.
Illegals are not getting
it.
Yeah,
undocumented immigrants.
But we know illegals get it. And so you live in New York City. You saw all the illegals that was getting stuff.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm happy with the cuts that are being made in this bill. They want to say 17 million people are having their benefits cut because they're able-bodied people and they refuse to work. I want to see how many immigrants get their fucking benefits cut now after reading all this, and I'm happy that these cuts are happening now. Sorry to say it.
Kamal, you're apolitical. Independents have been the biggest disapproval of this bill. So how do you feel about the bill?
Some shit in there that's cool, and then some shit in there that I'm like ain't really feeling. For the low income people, that's the only thing I'm not feeling, man. Medicaid, man, the Medicare, they really need that. The low income, you feel me? The immigrants and the illegal immigrants getting Medicaid and Medicare, hell to the fuck no. Hell no. They taking from the resources. I don't like that shit. But for low income, yeah, most definitely they need, Medicare and Medicaid, you know what I mean? More on defense. I mean, shit, this is America. They've been putting in defense for Democrats, Republicans, they all put in defense. You better just hope you somehow either got some stocks and shit that's in defense, or you working with companies that deal with these contracts. Always, it don't matter who it's gonna be. There's always gonna be more spending when it comes to defense than anything else. It's like we talk about this all the goddamn time, and it's like at some point we just gotta realize like they gonna keep spending on goddamn defense. You feel me? But like I said, the only thing that I really see, and it's like what Enzo said, it's a lot in this bill. So it's still some stuff in there that I'm like, we ain't gonna know till a couple weeks from now what's still in this bill and stuff like that. So with that being said, the only thing I could pinpoint that I'm like kind of like about is the Medicaid and Medicare for low income like families and people with low income. You know what I mean?
Skeptic, does this hurt Republicans in the midterms since it's so unpopular?
Oh yeah. This is going to hurt them because, and I'll tell you why. So we've never claimed that immigrants were not receiving welfare. It was undocumented immigrants, the ones that don't have documentation. The same way that those 50 people that were brought from South Africa in a charter plane, remember those people? Yeah, we provided them welfare. We provided them cell phones. We provided them a way to clothe themselves. That's the welfare that immigrants. Those are the type of immigrants that are receiving welfare. So I wanted to say, this bill is going to negatively affect. I've read the 948 pages for the BBB and also or BBO. Chris also did. He also read it, and it's going to negatively affect red states because it's putting the responsibility of funding certain programs that used to be funded through the federal program, like the federal government, on states. So these poor red states that are conservative Republicans are going to lose funding for their the people that live there. So these blue states, the people that keep on saying send all the immigrants to the blue states, they're already doing well. Go look up the economy for sanctuary cities. All the states that have sanctuary cities in them pay more federal taxes than they take in, and that's a fact. So they're not going to be hurting. The people that are going to be hurting are going to be those red states that are so hateful that they voted against their own self. They defunded themselves because at the end of it, as long as they're hurting someone else, that benefits them. That is enough for them. So I'm clapping for them too. I'm happy that they won't have food stamps anymore. I'm happy that they're going to lose Medicare, because another thing about it is, culturally speaking, minorities, like I'm Latina, our people, we take care of our people. If we see someone in need, we're going to help you out. There's churches, we come together, we take care of our old people. So we're going to be okay. We haven't been relying on welfare for the longest time. A lot of us can't even get welfare. So we know how to survive. The people that don't know how to survive are those conservatives that are clapping like seals, and it hasn't even hit them yet. So yeah, I'm also glad. I kept telling people what was in the bill. They didn't go and read it. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't even read the bill, and she voted yes for it. So, I'm good.
She can't read though.
I mean, we'll all agree on that. I don't like her to begin with either.
If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Now, it's a lot of stuff in the bill. It's a lot of stuff by the NRA and a lot of stuff about other things, but it seemed like everybody said healthcare. And that's why I picked this clip, because everybody is basically focused on what healthcare is in the bill. Oh, let me remove one of these videos. It won't let me do more than 10. All right, here we go.
Speaker Johnson's office, where right now the House Doctors Caucus has staged a protest.
And these community health care center closes, they have to remember there are people who work in those institutions, and they're generally the largest employers wherever they are located. That will drive down local economies, as well as putting those people who work there off of insurance.
If 20% of rural hospitals are going to close, if you're having an emergency, where are you going to go?
There are two large safety net hospitals in the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area who have told me very directly that they may have to close their doors if this bill passes.
If your father is having a heart attack, what are you going to do?
Now we're just undermining everything the ACA has done. It is our job to protect people, not to decimate their bottom line. And the economic impacts of the energy costs, the loss of jobs, the deficit that we're riddling our children with, and the loss of educational opportunities. This is not just about healthcare. This is about our entire economic infrastructure.
So, Kamal, you said you care about the low-income people. Do you also feel like people are going to lose life or not get a proper health care because of this?
I mean, the healthcare system already fucked up out here in America. And this, like, what Skeptic said, yeah, it's going to hurt the red states for sure. You saw there were all Democrats that was all there. They were doctors, right?
Yeah.
Those are doctors. All of them was Democrat. Not one Republican. We already know in Democratic areas, certain areas, the healthcare system is bullshit. It ain't popping like that. So who is it going to affect? Yeah, people in the red states, they're going to be fucked over. But it seemed like I didn't see not one Republican doctor saying like, hey, this is going to mess up something, blah, blah, blah. That's why sometimes this shit be looking like propaganda. That was so weird. It was nothing but Democrats. It was nothing but Democrats. But we for sure know that the red states is going to get effed over the most because most of them is on Medicare and Medicaid. I'll tell you right now. The top country that got the most people on fucking Medicaid and Medicare is somewhere in Kentucky. 98% white, 99% of them is on Medicare and Medicaid. It's a red state, red city. Like, I don't know. Shit, that looked weird. I don't know about y'all. That looked weird to me looking at that clip. For real.
So Enzo, for me, it seems like MAGA's willing to stick by Trump no matter what. So everybody saying it's going to affect the red states. Do you think those people are really going to care? They're going to say, you know what, we loyal to Trump, we don't care.
I don't think it's going to be, oh, we're just loyal to Trump, we don't care. I mean, if it affects people in red states that, like I said before, that are too lazy to work or volunteer 80 hours a month to get your benefits, then good. You should be taken off those. You absolutely should. I don't care if it's red, blue, purple, whatever it is. If you can't meet the requirements, you don't need it. So it can go to somebody else who needs it. So I really don't care whatever state it is or anything like that. And I'm going to touch on what Kamal was saying. Yeah, that looked like straight up propaganda because you don't see any Republicans talking about it. You don't see any Republican doctors talking about it online. This is just fear-mongering at its best. And I'm going to keep saying it until I see otherwise, until I start seeing people just drop dead because of all this going on, that they're not going to have Medicare, that so many people are going to lose their benefits, so many people are going to unalive because of all this and all that. Until I start seeing it, I don't give a shit, is what's said from the Democratic side.
Nora, you put in the chat that it's fear-mongering, so you're saying that no one's going to lose health care?
I'll say this. The positive things that I saw was more immigration judges. We need to get these people out of here. By getting these people out of here, we're going to reduce our debt because we're going to have less these immigrants, illegals, whatever, on welfare, number one. Number two, we have an increase on the child tax credit. That benefits American children. So that's a win for me. Number three, there's going to be cap on graduate loans, which in turn is going to reduce debt, reduce student loans, reduce things like that. We got to look at the positives of the bill. And for me, it's a lot of fear mongering. Yeah. So I want to talk about the positives. Now, I don't agree with reducing Medicare and Medicaid to an extent. Are we reducing Medicare? I don't agree with, because Medicare is people that are sick and the older people. Medicaid, that's a conversation for another day. But I don't want them touching Medicare because those are genuinely sick people, genuinely old people, especially older people that have paid into the system all their lives. Medicaid, again, that's another conversation. I've never qualified for Medicaid. I've had children and mouths to feed. I made $30,000. I didn't qualify making that. So I really don't care personally, but I do sympathize. I mean, but for the most part, I don't know anyone that qualifies. They make too much money.
Skeptic, you were saying that it's good that the rural and the red states are going to suffer, but
So
with some of these people, I feel like they just see what's on the news and they hear an immigrant is taking my job, the government is tricking me, people are stealing from me. So I feel like if you're told that over and over and over again, you're not going to care about simple things that may affect you. So, like, do you feel like they deserve for their health care to be taken because they made that decision?
see, like the empath in me like feels bad and goes back and forth with it, but I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. And I'm gonna say this, and I've said this to everyone who listens to my live. While the bill goes through the House, right? It was 948 pages, and it goes through the Senate, and they did the whole voting on it and doing amendments and changing certain provisions of the law. It will not be exactly the same. However, I don't think that they had enough time to make huge changes on the cuts that they wanted to do. So the cuts may not be as extensive, or they may be more than what we originally thought, because amendments have been made. Like, that is what they were voting on. That is what was happening when they were going back and forth. There was amendments being made right then and there. Now, from the Senate to the House, I don't think there was hardly any time. But from the House to the Senate, there was a lot. There was more time, right? So we don't know exactly what implementations are going to come out of this. However, we do know that some cuts will be applied and applicable, right, in the next decade. So some of the things that they had said prior to it going leaving the Senate was changing the hours of able-bodied people. So certain things are right. Like I want to say that it's Medicaid basically overall helps older people. They changed the working requirements for that. Like, how are you going to make older people work more? Now, here's the smart thing that they did. So instead of, if you're part-time, you're working 25 hours, right? If you're full-time, you're working 40 hours. So the provision that they added was that you have to work at least 35 hours to qualify. So you're not a part-time worker, but you're not a full-time worker either. So tell me what employer is going to give you 35 hours a week? Like, please explain that to me, because we're purposely trying to cut people off of these programs that they literally need. I want to say that the majority of people that were on, it's either Medicaid, I don't know which one is the one that serves children, were children, people under the age of 18. So, like, how are we changing provisions for people who literally cannot even work? We're going to kick people off that need these programs to literally survive. They're sick. They need their medications. Like, what are we going to say to those people? Those that didn't vote, the people that were not involved, that didn't care about this. I don't have to see a dead person to care. Like, that's the difference between me and someone who is a conservative. I don't have to see a dead person to start caring. I care before we get to that point. And another thing, my husband works in the green energy sector. The Elon Musk thing is true. And I heard Trump say he doesn't like the windmills. He doesn't like the solar panels. Okay. We're going to go back to coal, which is only 40% viable for energy. Natural gas is better if you want to talk about a resource that is, not that bad for the environment and doesn't pollute our world. Or you can go to the nuclear power, but there's a lot of regulations on, building a nuclear power plant. So we're going back to coal. I mean, it's outrageous. The things that this administration is doing literally come from incompetence and lack of understanding. And it's wild that we're saying, I have to see a dead American before I care about defunding them. Like, that's a wild statement to make.
We do care about dead
We're
Americans.
going to go to final thoughts.
Yeah.
But Trump said he go deport Elon Musk. But Enzo, what's your final thoughts?
So, like I always say, it was a great episode. I'm happy with the wins that Donald Trump's administration keeps racking up. It's been a week of win, like he said, and I'm kind of tired of winning right now. Kind of need some bad news because I need content on TikTok, and no Democrat is bringing it other than just insults. So Donald Trump, if you're hearing this with any which way possible, man, can tone it down for like a week. Give me some shit to go off of, please. But the big beautiful bill, I'm happy with it. All I was gonna say to Skeptic before, that at this point, that's what I would need to see coming from the Democratic Party. I'm sorry to say it. because it's just been fear mongering and bullshit from the left for 4 years and never panned out. So let's really see what happens this time.
Nora, what's your final thoughts?
I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. It's funny to hear Democrats or people on the left say that people conservatives don't care about dead Americans when the whole reason why we're pushing for immigration reform is for the thousands of dead Americans that have been raped, robbed, killed, set on fire. The list is endless. So, but it's funny. You say we don't care. I care. This is why I'm pushing this. Number one. Number two, guys, if you're please watching, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. We have a big show coming next week. Next Thursday night, we have a super panel between FBA and pro, I guess I could say pro immigrant blacks. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation. Also, Friday, we are going to be live streaming from Turning Point USA. We will be getting some footage talking to the Unfuck America tour. Can't wait to be enlightened. Also, hopefully, I'll be able to get some big interviews. Fingers crossed, I'll be able to get backstage. So I'm looking forward to that. So please give us a subscription as we bring you in real life content.
For sure. Kamal, what's your final thoughts?
What's good with the chat, man? Y'all's in there funny as hell. Once again, shout out to everybody on the panel, Enzo, Skepta, Nora, Gray. Appreciate y'all. Y'all go check out the new party. I got it pinned to my channel at the top of the chat. So y'all go subscribe and most definitely hit that notification bell so y'all know when they go live. You feel me? They were covering the Diddy shit like a motherfucker. Loved it. It was on it. Shit, they went to the trial and everything. So, yeah, y'all hit that notification bell. Also, hit that notification bell for my channel, Kamal Johnson Network. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the big, beautiful BBL bill, some shit in there is cool. I'm cool with some of it. Not so much. More of the low income not getting Medicare and Medicaid is kind of like, nah, I ain't with that. But making sure illegal immigrants ain't getting our goddamn resources, hey, I'm all for that. You feel me? Especially when they tell us they ain't got no motherfucking money for resources for us foundational Black Americans. They always tell us they broke when it comes to our issues. I'm tired of that shit. All right. But yeah, man, Trump has been winning. I'm more concerned about Elon Musk at this point. Is he gonna shut down Twitter? Like, is these subsidies gonna be cut out? Damn, like I'm concerned about, bruh. Well, not really. He a damn apartheid having mother. You know what?
For sure. Skeptic, what's your final thoughts?
Let's not let hate win. Like, stay human, man. Stay human. When we start cheering for alligators, there's a problem. So, I don't know where Bewanda and Bernard, I didn't see them today. So, yeah, thank you to the chat. You guys are funny. You always keep me laughing. And next Thursday, FBA versus non-FBA is going to be lit. I'm very excited because some of my friends are going to be there, and I'm excited to hear. It's going to be very lively, so I'm very excited. I'm going to try and advertise it on TikTok, so hopefully we'll have a bunch of people tune in. And like I always say, don't let anyone trample on your constitutional rights.
My bad.
Hold on, Skepta, is Buwana your homie?
No, I don't know him, but he just makes me laugh in the chat.
But one came from
I'll let you do your sprays again. My bad. Go ahead.
Don't let anyone trample on your constitutional rights.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, Buwana funny. I think he hit me up. He was like, oh, I'm not gonna be on the chat today. I gotta go eat this new coyote meat. It's a new brand.
For sure. It's always great when I host because I know how to like get it going. So thank you guys for showing up. Everyone on the cast have a wonderful Independence Day. I think I should be like some media fireworks in here or something like that. Kamal, I don't know if you have it on there, but yeah. So you guys have a great holiday. I like that we can talk about everything. We're getting deep into these topics, and I learned a lot every single time from everybody. Everybody teaches me something. We do this Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Check back in with us, like you heard Nora and Skeptic say. We're going to keep bringing like different types of content and things that we know people want to see. And like we always show on the new party, always vote. You guys have a good night.